Hey guys, this video is long overdue as there have been some massive developments in the Dreadhunger modding community as of late. There is a new map, Archipelago. There are new Thrall Spells, 4 of them. There are currently 3 new playable characters, making it possible to now play 11-player games, which is insane. And there are even new items and other in-game mechanics that have completely changed how Dreadhunger is played. And honestly, it is a bloody exciting time to be a Dreadhunger content creator and just playing Dreadhunger in general. Seeing the new breath of life come straight into the game, it's just been fantastic. However, not everyone knows how to download and use the Dreadhunger mod manager, which is critical to be able to use these, or be able to join in and take part in these new modding availabilities. And I also worry that not everyone even knows that these new mods exist, and it's only traveling really by word of mouth or general publicity in, say, the Dreadhunger Unofficial Discord, which, by the way, you should be joining. So if you're not a part of the Dreadhunger Unofficial Discord, the link for that Discord is in the description of this video. I want to publicize that very, very loudly because honestly, it is an amazing Discord. Absolutely fantastic. And the community there are great. It's basically the Dreadhunger community's response to the official Dreadhunger Discord being shut down at the end of 2024 or at the end of 2023. So basically, you should be joining that so you can keep up to date with everything that's happening. Any new developments, any new mods, anything like that are being posted up there. So if you're feeling like you're being left out of stuff, that's a great place to start. But this video is to explain very clearly how to download and use the mod manager, as well as publicize and shout from the top of every rooftop exactly what is currently available as of August 2024 as a mod or as a playable mod in Dreadhunger. But before we get into it, I wanted to play a quick little montage of sorts that goes over some of the best new additions in the new mod, Totem Mod. Enjoy. Good does Archipelago and just the Totem Mod update in general look like? Holy cow, the modders have outdone themselves. I cannot wait to sink my teeth into all the new mechanics, make all these new videos for all of you, and play Archipelago and the rest of the update with all of you too. But we do need to do a little bit of groundwork in order to get to that point. So let's get into exactly how to download and use the Dreadhunger mod manager, which is the backbone of making a streamlined and easy mod downloading process for all of you to use. And to be clear, if you do not have the Totem mod installed or it's not installed correctly, then you will have issues and you will not be able to play on games hosted on Archipelago, nor on lobbies hosted on the Summit or New Expanse should the Totem mod be selected by the host, which of course is just a headache to try and work out why things aren't loading in correctly. Games have to be rehosted. It's a whole problem. So just do yourself a favor, do the community a favor, get this Totem mod installed, especially when you consider that Totem mod does not influence the ability to play on regular Summit games hosted by someone with no mods selected. So there's really no downside to having the mod installed.
Alrighty, so the first thing you want to do is copy paste the Google Drive link, which is in the description of this video. We'll just click on it and it will open up this Google download. Now, I'm almost certain it's not dodgy. It's probably not. It's definitely not. At least not as of August 2024. You can click download. It'll take you to this other spot, this little website here, where you're going to have to click download anyway. After a short delay, this will download. Once downloaded, you're going to want to open up the folder, double click on it, and install it from here. You want to click more info and then run anyway. Now, I already have it installed, but once this is run anyway, you'll hopefully get something that looks a little bit like this. Let's just minimize that in the background. Yeah, does that look something like this? It should be called the Septenary Gods Mod Manager. This is for Dreadhunger. It's not for any other game. So as of August, these are the available mods currently on the mod manager. I'm sure as the years go on, more mods will be added to the mod manager. So when yours opens up, depending on when you're watching this video, it may look a little different. But the first thing you want to do is go to settings and bind the game dir, which is just bind the game directory. So you're going to want to navigate to the Dreadhunger application in your files, which simply put, is on your main hard drive, program files times by 86 folder, scroll down to Steam, scroll down to Steam apps, click common, scroll down or just navigate to the Dreadhunger file, and there is the Dreadhunger application. You can double click on that and it will say directory binding successful. Awesome. So now everything you do in the mod manager is affecting that particular game, being Dreadhunger. Go to play mod and you're going to want to install 2 of these mods. The Totem Mod version 1.1.0, which is the Archipelago map, all the new spells, all the new playable characters, as well as the new items, and basically everything that we're talking about in this video is in this Totem Mod version 1.1.0. So you want to click install on that. After a short amount of time, this should install. Now, of course, this is quite a large download, so it will probably take a little bit of time. I'll speed it up for the sake of the video. But yeah, you're going to be basically installing a whole new map, all these new mechanics, all these new playable characters, new spells, so it's going to take a little bit. Once that's done, it'll say that it is completely installed. You also have these other options popping up as you can see around here. You've got the old departure map, which I wouldn't recommend installing. It basically means the old summit map, which had the ramp that went up to Nitro. Some of you may remember that. You also have the old expanse map here, this is basically the newer and improved way of playing and installing the new old expanse map, I should say. But either way, once the Totem mod is installed, you also want to include the head count modification mod, which is basically allowing you to play with 11 players. It adds a slider to when you host games to allow more people to join your lobby so that you can play with these new characters. Click install on this. It shouldn't take as long because it's quite a small thing, a small mod in comparison to the other one. And once that's installed, happy days. The other mod here, I believe, I haven't used it, but as far as I know, it's adding more ways to communicate with your Thrall partner when you're Thrall. Big downside of this is that it's all in Chinese. So at least as of August, this doesn't appear usable for English speakers. Anyway, once this is all installed, once you have Totem Mod installed and the head count modification installed, you are good to go. Open up Dreadhunger and click play. Once the game launches, you'll be able to see some of the new availabilities thanks to this mod. You'll see in the bottom right, it says mod version 1.1.0. That should give you a hint that you have done things correctly. You can go to the wardrobe here and you can scroll down to these 3 Chinese characters. You now have, what's this guy's name? Old Jacob. Samuel, or as I like to call him, Purple McGee, and of course, a cannibal who starts with a bone knife, which is pretty fucking cool. You can also see these guys have a different starting item, a little different shaped ice axe, and it looks like a bone saw, which is pretty cool. And this guy starts with a bone knife, which is a one-time use spirit walk when low on health, which is pretty cool. So there's a few options here. You can see his different arms. You've got a whole different model. It's still not perfect when you kill a cannibal, one of these three characters. Their body comes out as marine and it's all weird and morphed, so it's not perfect. And I'm hoping the longer this mod exists, the more time we have, the more changes and improvements that will come to this. The other changes you'll notice are going down to whatever this is called, the Thrall Spell option. When you get here, you'll be able to see the 4 new Thrall Spells currently available. 1, 2, 3, and 4. For a quick overview, the top spell here, this is a point and click spell similar to Cannibals and Doppelganger. You select one of your teammates as a thrall and you will give them spell charge immediately. So it's quite a nice way to, let's say, pass on your charge to another player. Maybe if someone's playing outed or you have different spells controlled by different players. It's a way to manipulate which players are able to cast what spells. I wouldn't say it's anything groundbreaking, but it's nice to have. The next spell down damages the ship for 2, 4, or 6 holes, depending on the charge of the spell. Nice little one, little dirty in the sense that now an outed thrall can play can still slow down the ship. Instead of having to attack PvP, they can actually just fuck with your coal. We'll see. It's basically a free powder keg. Anyway, the next spell down is the worst thing ever created. It's called Exploding Rats. If you're playing in my lobbies, just don't select it. It's not that fun. It's not that different. You can run it maybe once. Just stop it. Little rats run at you. I believe there are either 6, 9, or 12 rats as of August 2024 that run at you and explode. They do way more damage than they have any right to do, and their bodies still explode if you manage to kill one of the rats after a little bit of time. So it's quite a painful spell, and combined with cannibals running at you. If you're inside, it's at night, you have no chance of stopping these rats from reaching you and damaging you. So it's a pretty shitty spell. Just don't run it. And finally, this spell, which I don't know what the names of any of them are, but this one allows you to teleport to one of your totems. And when you teleport to that totem, the totem is then destroyed, as far as I know. It's probably the spell I'm most excited about in this new update, at least this new mod. I think there's a lot of potential here. We'll just have to see how well it plays and whatnot. It's basically, potentially, an even better Spirit Walk, giving the Thrall a lot more maneuverability. So anyway, great little spells all around here. 4 new options. Please don't use Exploding Rats. So actually, 3 exciting new spells. The original spells are all still available, so that is fantastic. And finally, probably the last thing you'll notice in the pre-game lobby, well, I guess the 2 last things you'll notice in the pre-game lobby is when you go down here and you look at the workbench, you'll notice a few new additions to the workbench, namely the wrench, which is made out of 1 lead ingot. If you drag the wrench onto one of your existing items, it will break that item down into its original component.
Now, you won't get back all the components that the item was made out of, just the main few. So in the case of the axe, you'll drag a wrench onto it, you'll get 1 iron scrap and 1 wood back, but not the extra nail that the axe is traditionally made out of. It's really a case-by-case scenario of testing what you'll get back if you drag a wrench onto one of the items that you have in your inventory. So just keep that in mind before using it and being confused why maybe you didn't get everything you expected back. A wrench can also be used as a one-time use item when repairing the ship to fix a breach in the hull of the ship twice as fast. You can also craft gun parts now, but it does require a whetstone as well as 5 gunpowder and 1 iron scrap, so I'm not sure how realistic it'll be to actually make them.
And finally, you can also create a musket, which is pretty fucking cool. It does require 2 gun parts and a whetstone. It is quite difficult to actually make a musket. You really have to be spending a lot of time looting locked boxes or getting lucky or working as a team to try and get the crew a musket. Pretty nice. The armory still exists. So you still have that way of just getting muskets if you'd prefer, but it's interesting.
And lastly, crewmates can now destroy coal to create gunpowder once again, like they used to be able to.
You'll also notice that there is, well, actually doesn't show you in the pre-game lobby. That's actually quite interesting. When you load in with 11 players, there will be three total, but two new brigs that are here that you have to run past. So if you have 11 players, that's where they respawn in, one of the brigs. And the other brig is in the kitchen, about here.
The mod developers also added in a new Thrall mechanic exclusive to Archipelago, and that is the creation of the Wendigo. To do so, the Thrall must go to the far left cave on Archipelago and find at the very back of it this demonic ice sculpture of a totem. When they have the correct resources of 10 wood, 10 bones, and 2 animal pelts, they can interact and start creating a Wendigo stone through this ice sculpture. It takes about as long as it takes to make a stew, but upon completion, it gives you the Wendigo crystal, or Wendigo stone, whatever you want to call it, as seen here. To summon the Wendigo, the Thrall must throw the Wendigo stone that they crafted at the ice sculpture at the back of that Thrall cave. When the stone hits the ground, the Wendigo spawns at that point and attacks any crewmates nearby, doing significant damage similar to that of Bongo the bear, but at startling speeds, swimming very, very lightning fast and proving a very realistic threat to crew members nearby. I've even heard it can get on the ship. Yeah. I haven't seen it myself, but that's what I've heard. It's scary stuff. So the crew really have to rally around each other, fight this vicious creature. It has a significant amount of health, but I do believe together they can take it down in, probably similar fashion as they do Bongo the bear. There's still a lot to discover about the Wendigo. I know the green totems hidden around the map seem to be connected to the creation of the Wendigo. And if the crew are able to destroy all 6 green totems, it's speculated that means the Wendigo can't be made. I'm not entirely sure. I just know that at this point in time, it is a seriously exciting time to be playing Dreadhunger, and I cannot wait to see what else the game puts forward, especially if they keep coming up with such interesting and unique game mechanics like the Wendigo.
And finally, you'll also see there is a new item that you can brew in the stove. I haven't used this yet, but I'm assured that if you use it, I believe it gives you a very, very quick spirit walk, and it spawns a cannibal where you were standing. I'm not completely sure on what you would use this for, but as far as I can tell, it's a one-time drinkable use that when the player drinks it, it creates an opportunity for the crewmate to survive what would have otherwise been a pretty lethal in exchange. You could probably use it to survive nitros, maybe if you jumped off cliffs. So I'm pretty excited to see how the community use this new item. I want to try it out in my own games. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the noticeable differences in the pre-game lobby. Pretty darn exciting stuff. Oh, actually, one last thing is that the Archipelago map can be found in the bottom right-hand corner here. You can see it now down here. I want them to improve this picture because it's not that enticing, but it's pretty fucking impressive map. And you can launch lobbies from here, and you can increase the slider here with that head count modification mod up to 11 so that players can join, and you can actually use the additional playable characters that are in the wardrobe.
And that's it. I hope this video explained any questions or queries you may have had with how to download and install the Dreadhunger mod manager and be able to take advantage of the new Totem Mod expansion of Dreadhunger, so to speak, especially with that sweet, sweet new Archipelago map just waiting to be played. Now, there is still one more video I plan on making, so keep an eye out for it. It will explain how to host your own lobbies, as this video really only focused on how you can join other people's lobbies to be able to play the mod. However, if you want to host your own, there is a whole other process behind that, including the download of a Dreadhunger server overlay, which is pretty awesome, but it is a little bit of a process to get underway, so I will be making a video on that. So I'm hoping that video will help expand the Dreadhunger hosting community so to speak, as at the moment you really have to wait for the handful of people who know and regularly host lobbies on the Archipelago map and using the mods and whatnot. And whilst it is a little bit of a process and it's quite intimidating to try and learn and host some of this stuff, that video should make it relatively simple for you to learn, and so that you can host your own games with your own friendship groups and whatever you want to do, and keep Dreadhunger alive and flourishing. Now, if you have any suggestions for what you'd like the Dreadhunger modding community to do next, leave them in the comments of this video. I want to start a bit of a brainstorm, maybe put ideas out there, start some real talk and chatter in the community, and you never know, the modders may hear. Hell, the modders may actually respond faster and more effectively than our previous Dreadhunger developers did, so fingers crossed. It certainly can't be worse. Certainly can't be worse. Otherwise, I guess there's only one thing left to do, and that is, let's go to the outro. Thanks for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the channel for more creative gaming content. Now, down below me are details for all my social medias, including my Twitter account, my Patreon, and my Discord, which are all worth checking out, and details for my Twitch stream are just up here. There's also a brilliant other video you can watch right here. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck with all your endeavors, and remember to think just a little bit different.